Hello, everybody. The Worm is here, and I have a question for you. Are you ready for some more 999? Because I'm ready for some more 999. We were in last time. We were in the middle of our next. What would this section be called? A puzzle section, a escape room section. I'm not sure exactly if there's a name for these sorts of things, a proper name, but in any case, we were getting, let's see, we had a couple crucial scenes last time. For one thing, we chose our first door. We went with door 4. And let's give a round of applause for our two groups. We both made it. No casualties. Very good. Good work, everyone. And let's see what else. We also had a little conversation with June. We talked about some occult stuff, about the curse of the mummy. I guess we're just going to have to keep that in mind. Or maybe not. If we get a mention of a curse or a mummy again, then we'll know it's something more serious. But until then, that's just June showing her interest, more of her interest in the occult. And then we had a chat with Santa, and he told us about part of his, what would you call it, philosophy of life or something. And hang on, I actually wrote this down. What is it he hates? Let's see. Santa hates hope, faith, love, and luck. So that's something. And we talked a bit about gambling. Junpei and Santa were able to relate to each other a bit with reference to gambling. So that was all good. Lotus came in to offer her commentary on the Nonary game, relating it to the game of Baccarat, and how the number 9 is important. So that's pretty much it. I stopped in the middle of this puzzle, so let's keep going. I'm gonna have to try and recall. Don't know what the curtain is for yet. Obviously we have these plates here. And they're gonna go up here, but I think we need 3 of them. What was that? I'm not sure what that was. Can we... So why would we do that? Interesting. That's pretty else people. Somebody's really dedicated. Well, you gotta wonder if they wanted to be caught. So they're saying maybe the one who got getting spied on was into that? Maybe they're into, like, those home invasion fantasies? Oh my goodness. Starting off pretty strong today, are we, gentlemen? Lotus dropping in. Oh, what if, hang on, what will this show us? So hold the curtain. If I look at it ways back, it's a single tile. Looks like 5th from the top and 3rd from the right. 5th from the top, 3rd from the right. This one? That means what? Oh, fifth from in the other bathroom. Okay. Let's check it out. Can't just leave June there by herself. Why is that creepy? Whatever, man. I'm going. Considering in the situation we're in, I do think it's not a terrible idea to stay in groups, you know? I don't think that's terribly odd. Alright, now where was it? 5th from the top, 3rd from the right? Hey, June. Oh, sorry. Could you be quiet for a minute? I don't want to forget this. This one. This one's loose. I think I can get down to it. So my nails, and yes. Hey, there we go. Okay, so we have the 3 pieces now. Now I'm assuming that we're going to need to match up the pieces. So let's look at this real quick. So this is, let's see this round piece here. Set this here. So this area is this area, right? So this is the top left part. Let's look for a 3-pronged thing. Here. So that's the top right. And this, by elimination, must be bottom right. Okay, so let's head back. We're gonna go check up on them. Okay, so let's do that here. Oh my goodness. Switch these. Switch these. Hey, got it. Yes, I did it. Picture complete, and secret compartment. There goes the frame. Uh-huh. Hidden safe or something, you know? Let's take a look. Is that a key? Oh, Mars key. So this very obviously goes to the door out. Junpei messed around a bit with the key he had and looked blankly at the picture that slid down.
What's the deal with this picture anyway?
It looks like, what is it, an ink blot? Something a psychiatrist or therapist or, you know, I don't particularly know which profession would use it, but you know what I mean, right? An ink blot. Santa had only been mumbling to himself, but it drew Lotus's attention. She looked at the picture and paused.
I think I've seen this picture before.
This picture? This particular picture?
Where?
In a book.
A book? What, some kind of modern art thing?
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory.
Okay, where's this going?
I saw this picture in his book.
What's this interesting theory?
Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Sorry, you've lost me.
Man, I can't deal with this. Just listening to you talk about it is giving me a headache.
Yeah, sorry, you're gonna have to go ahead and speak to me in layman's terms. Santa put his hands on his head as though he were in great pain. Lotus merely arched an eyebrow in his direction and continued.
It's not a difficult concept to grasp.
Okay.
In essence, he states that the shape of living organisms and their behavioral patterns are transmitted through a field not visible to the eye.
Shapes of living organisms and their behavioral patterns. I'm not sure I follow.
What part of that isn't difficult, exactly?
1 second. Am I actually recording? It appears to be so. Okay. Lotus did not look pleased.
All right, how about this? Theory of the telepathic mechanism.
Telepathy, you say? Man, we're really getting into the occult stuff, in this game, huh?
Telepathy?
Yes, telepathy. Well, perhaps not exactly telepathy, but it's close enough for a simple
Santa suddenly burst into laughter.
Are you serious? Telepathy? Who do you think we are? Kids from the 70s? I can't believe someone would actually do serious research on something like that.
Yes, I agree.
Lotus's response was surprisingly curt. Junpei had expected at least some conflict.
I read the book, but I can hardly say I understood it. I'm in no position to defend or condemn anything it said. It was probably just someone latching onto a statistical outlier from some study and turning it into a ridiculous theory.
What a careful consideration and even-handed approach from Ms. Lotus here.
There's no scientific merit to any of it, I'm sure. But even so, Anyway, I saw a picture like that one in his book.
But it just looks like an ink blot thing. Do you really think it's something so specific? Lotus indicated the picture they'd all been looking at. After a moment, she walked up to the strange picture, examined it, and then spoke.
Hey, what do you think this picture looks like?
Santa entered first.
What do you mean? Isn't it just like abstract or something like that? It's just black and white scribbles. There's no meaning there. That's it.
What about you, Junpei? Does it look like anything to you?
Well, you're kind of blocking it now. Does it look like anything to me?
I guess it looks like...
I guess if it looks like a creature, it doesn't look like any creature I know. This might be an answer, like multiple question answer thing. Let's see. Okay. It is, but it's a lot more options than I thought it was gonna be. Let's see. A man's face. Not sure. Butterfly. Maybe. A koi, like a koi fish. I'm not sure. A dog? No, I don't see a dog. A small boat floating in a lake? Not really. Although it would have to be a very strange looking boat. And Funyorimpa. Can't say I'm familiar with that term. I assume that's something Japanese, maybe? But I do not know what that is. I guess I'm gonna go with butterfly.
It's butterfly. Cho Butterfly Yusofa.
I don't know what that is. Cho Butterfly Yusofa.
This is the head, and this is the nose and the mouth.
Wait, what? What's a Cho Yusofa?
Wait, you mean you don't know? He's a former pro wrestler and a huge movie star.
Wow. I didn't see that coming.
He was just in this movie called Man Bag. Oh, man, it was so sweet. He was all like, nom, 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 throwing the bag around like a big mouth. And then, like, guns and gadgets and stuff would just fly out of it.
Well, at least this gave us a little insight into Junpei and what he likes.
Damn, just thinking about it gives me chills.
He likes, what was it? Pro wrestler. He likes pro wrestling, I guess, yeah. After 3 seconds of silence, Lotus looked at Junpei.
You're just screwing with me, aren't you, Junpei? Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog.
Ah. How so?
See? Like this.
Lotus pointed out the parts of the picture. Eventually, a dog took shape in them. Oh. Well, when you put it like that... Yes, absolutely. It looked as though she had a point. Yes, I see it now. It was a dog. Santa also nodded in agreement. Nose here. Can't really see the ears, though.
So, now we know what it's a picture of, but I don't see how that helps us.
Lotus nodded and began to speak.
A TV show from Great Britain did an experiment once. They took two similar pictures. Both of them were difficult to identify, initially. But once you figured out the answer, you couldn't see it as anything else. These two pictures. The first was a woman wearing a hat. The other one, well, to make it easier, let's just say it was this picture of a dog. So, their experiment. First, they sent the picture to other parts of the world, outside the reach of British airwaves. To Ireland, the US, Africa, Europe. Then, in each country, they gathered a number of test subjects. Roughly 1,000 people. They were shown the two pictures and asked, what does this picture look like to you? The results weren't really interesting on their own. 9.2% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. 3.9% saw the dog in the dog picture. Then, 2 days later, they aired a new program on their show. During the 30-minute show, they broadcast the dog picture and its solution. The audience was estimated to be 200,000 people. After the broadcast, it was a safe bet that the number of people who knew the solution to the dog picture was at least that many. After another 2 days passed, they gathered more research subjects from areas outside the reach of British TV and radio. This time, they only found a sample of roughly 850 people. Naturally, none of them had participated in the first test. They were, however, given the same test and the same two pictures. The results were startling. 10% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. The previous test sat at a 9.2% success rate. Not much of a change statistically. The dog picture, however, produced a very different result. The percentage of people able to successfully find the dog, it went from 3.9% to 6.8%, a very significant increase. So do you understand? Do you realize the significance of this experiment?
Why don't you tell me?
There was no way the second group could have seen the picture. They lived far away from Britain and couldn't have seen it. But even so, it was only the success rate for the dog picture that went up. Why? How did that happen? What does it mean?
Are you going to tell me? Lotus looked back and forth from Junpei to Santa and back again. Normally, all calm and collected, she looked as though she were very nearly possessed, and there was something manic about her manner. Santa took an involuntary step back. Junpei didn't budge and stared straight back into Lotus's eyes.
Oh, wait, does this have something to do with that field? Or whatever it was that you were talking about earlier?
Is this something along the lines of the collective unconscious or something?
A field not visible to the eye. So, if more people know the answer, then that information will pass through the field. Huh.
Psych!
Her manner suddenly shifted, and Lotus smiled broadly at Junpei and Santa. She waved her hand dismissively, doing her best to laugh the whole confrontation off.
I was just kidding. You really shouldn't take me seriously.
What? What? You're kind of... What are you saying? You rope-a-dope me here? What's the deal?
I mean, the things I just told you about are true. They really did happen. But the results of that experiment really aren't anything to go by. They could have easily falsified them. In the end, I'm sure they were just in it for the ratings. They are a TV station after all.
At last, it seemed that Santa had gained control of his composure.
Right! Man, I gotta admit, you had me there for a minute. I, really thought you were serious.
Of course not. Like I told you before, I'm sure it's all just pseudoscience.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, but do you really mean that, Lotus? I don't know much about you. I don't know much about anyone. So I'm not going to be too sure about anything these people say thus far. Santa and Lotus laughed and gave one another jovial claps on the shoulder. Junpei, however, didn't feel so much like laughing. Something felt wrong, unclear.
All right, enough nonsense. We've got the key. Let's get out of here.
Word.
Lotus and Santa walked away from the picture. But Junpei stayed, staring at the picture of the dog.
A field not visible to the naked eye. Morphogenetic field.
The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. So how's that gonna relate to the game, huh? I guess we're done, right? We have the key? Alright. Alright, we're all gonna meet up at the door. Okay, let's do that. Before I do, let me write down. Explained the theory of what was it? Oh, I can't go back. Morphogenic something? Morphogenic field by, what was it, Sheldrake? Claimed to be joking. But unnerved Junpei. Okay. Alright. I guess we're ready. Alright, let's go meet up with everyone. Yes. It unlocked. Let's go. Alright, let's go. A much bigger area. You found it. Well, thank you. They stepped through the door to find themselves in a wide hallway.
Ah, another hallway.
Junpei, June, Lotus, and Santa stopped for a moment and looked at their surroundings. A short distance away, a metal grate extended across the width of the hallway.
Come on, open!
Those look very thick. But I wonder if Lotus or June, because they're quite thin. I wonder if they could, like, if we could lift them onto this part and then them slip through here. It's hard to tell, just the way the art style is, exactly what the proportions are of the room and like how tall is this? How high is how high is the roof? The sort of 3D art doesn't really. It seems unclear to me. That's all I'm saying. But I'm assuming that's probably not an option.
It's not going to open because you rattled it, you know.
Damn it!
Well, hey, if it's old and rusted or something, you could try, breaking it or pulling it out of shape or something. They took hold and shook, but it refused to move.
Look over here!
We have some more elevators. Nearby was a pair of elevators.
Elevators. And the buttons, of course they don't work.
The power must be out here too, just like by the staircase.
That leaves this door.
I don't see any locks or keyholes.
Well, looks like we don't have any choice.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Well then, let's open it.
I hope the other group's doing alright.
Alright, here I go.
Junpei grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed open the door. Oh, what is this? A kitchen? He entered slowly, trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. The others followed shortly.
Oh. So it's a kitchen.
Santa did not look pleased.
What were you expecting?
Isn't it obvious? The exit. I was hoping this would be the way out of here.
No. Remember the rules. We're gonna have to find a door 9.
You really think it'd be that easy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Still,
I understand. I'd want this whole situation to be over as quick as possible. As they talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room. We have a key card slider thing. Until at last until at last she stood in front of a door.
If we can just get through this door, we should come out on the other side of that grate we saw earlier.
Okay. No Junpei line?
No good.
So I guess that wasn't very constructive. Why isn't Junpei talking? Neither Junpei nor Lotus looked terribly happy.
Anyway, let's take a look.
That was weird. Oh, we're finally gonna get the map. Nice. Junpei dug the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did.
Hey!
what's that?
What? I didn't get a good look
Huh?
at it.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you. I found this a little while ago. It's a map of the B deck.
Before Junpei could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him.
Let me see that.
Rude. You know, you could ask nice, Lotus. You could ask first, Lotus, is what I meant to say.
See? Look.
Yes, hold your horses.
Junpei did as he was told.
What did you figure out?
Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well.
This is handy.
See? We came in here. Now if we go out there, then we'll be on the other side of the grate.
So, is this the hallway we came out of? Elevators, kitchen, and then she's talking about here, right? With her finger, Lotus traced a path on the map. Yes.
How about that? She's right. We can get out through there.
There we go. Here, you can have it back.
Satisfied that she'd been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Junpei.
Thanks.
He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket.
There's a card reader on the right side of the door.
And that means the key card is somewhere in here, right?
That seems the most likely.
All right, we know what we need to do then. Let's get moving. First off, I say we split up and look for clues.
Hey, where's our pet dog?
Okay.
Oh, straight into it, huh? That was much quicker. How about that? Kitchen. Sure. Alrighty. 10 plates, if you flip them over, they look like hats. Wow. Hey, that would be nice. Makes you think a poor college student has the money to do something. You're a college student, Junpei. Interesting. How the hell can you tell that? They look like any other plate from a 99-cent store. What the hell are you bringing up June? Ah, the lady doth protest too much, methinks. Yes, quite. So you're like a high-class, well-educated person, huh? It's not like I need to know this crap, jeez. Appetizers come on square plates. Well, excuse me, princess. Man, there have been quite a few references in a short span of time there, haven't there? A voucher at the end of the counter. This voucher doesn't match the number of plates on the table. Appetizer 9. Meat dish 10. Oh, is this a weird code thing? 9 appetizer, 16 meat 10. Hexadecimal. It's a number system that goes 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11? No. Well, okay. Yeah. You can think of it as just 6 letters added onto the normal number system after 9. A10, B11, B12, D, C12, D13. So there's a random 6 letters in hexadecimal? Something doesn't seem right here. Why are there so many plates? What would 9 plus F be in base 10? So 9, A is 10, B 11, C 12, D 13, E 14, wait, A 10, B 11, C 12. Why am I having trouble with this? Uh, 16? Are you saying 9 plus 16? No, 15. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Okay. This seems so strange to me. Man, okay, sorry. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. Don't think about why. It's just what it is. At least he kind of got my joke. That makes me kind of happy. Spending a day off with June, drinking tea. Could such a day ever happen for me? Oh, nothing. We don't really need homework, so we should be moving on. Water in it. There's a couple plates here, but I don't think they're gonna help us much. What's stone? Useful for sharpen something. Okay. Nothing in here. These two just like angering each other. Does it feel colder in here? So what was it again? 9. 10 is A. F. 10. How do I say that here? Nine, 10, 9, 16, 10, 15. That's too many numbers. Oh. Okay. So Lotus is not a very accomplished cook, fair enough. Why so serious? A lot of notes there, much written, but it doesn't look like code. This bullet's really rusty. Interesting. Let's look at this room. Cheese. What's this? Should I look behind you? Little green bottle. Bottle of oil, you say? Cooking oil. Make something slippery, huh? Okay. Gouda. Most famous of Dutch cheese. Well, we gotta keep up our strength. I'd be happy for some cheese in a situation like this. Ooh,
A
a
rusty
knife.
knife?
A knife, a knife.
I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this.
Well, we have a whetstone. The knife seemed important to me, thought, but it wasn't gonna be much use the way it was.
It's futile.
Futile?
You know, a waste, useless, pointless.
Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up?
Oh, no reason really. I was just thinking about futility.
June. Never mind. Go ahead.
Huh?
She wasn't making much sense. Junpei tried rephrasing his question.
Why were you thinking about futility?
At last she answered.
Well, it has something to do with the Titanic.
The Titanic?
Yep. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted?
No, because I've not really been interested enough to learn much of the story behind the Titanic. No, I haven't.
No, I haven't. What is it?
In 1892, 14 years before the Titanic sank, a novel was published. It was called Futility. It was written by an American novelist named Morgan Robertson. The story was about a big cruise ship colliding with an iceberg and sinking. Of course, if that was the only similarity, there wouldn't be any reason to mention it. It wasn't, though. The name of the ship, its nationality, course, departure time, size, displacement, maximum speed, number of passengers and crew, the number of lifeboats, even the location of the accident itself, and the cause and the location of the damage. Everything matches the Titanic almost exactly.
Almost, you say.
It was almost as if he'd seen the whole thing happen.
Okay.
This book was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But that's not all. It wasn't just Futility that predicted the sinking of the Titanic. There were 2 other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead. Both of them before the accident. One in 1886 and one in 1892. Stead wrote 2 stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster. In one, 2 ships collided. Many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank.
I don't know. I mean, I'll give you that it seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships.
Right, I knew you'd say that.
You did?
But what if Stead had some sort of special powers?
Special powers, you
To be
say?
more specific, what if he had the ability to do automatic writing?
I'm unfamiliar with this ability.
What? Automatic writing? Wait, are you talking about when someone's possessed by a spirit and then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they're writing?
Yes,
What do you mean, yes? That stuff's a load of bull.
but Jumpy, you said you believe in curses.
Come on, that's totally different. Okay, let's say, hypothetically, that automatic writing isn't a total load. These guys still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When this Stead dude wrote his thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff?
The
That's
mummy.
not it.
What's not it?
Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possessing.
What are you smoking?
William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes 20 years before it happened.
He decided it was probably best to say nothing. What June was saying was insane and utterly absurd. If he tried to take what she was saying seriously, he'd go mad. Junpei smiled uncomfortably.
Why don't we talk about this some other time, okay?
Huh? But
Her voice trailed off, and she glanced at the floor, troubled.
Come on, let's get back to it.
Junpei tapped June gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Really in trouble. I know I'm just repeating myself, but this is really a utility moment. That blade is just so rusty. Can't cut a damn thing with a knife like this. Okay. Yes, yes. Maybe I'll use the whetstone to sharpen the knife. Maybe the knife is getting sharper by the second. Should be able to cut something pretty good with this. Hey, it's a knife. Cut something soft, you say? Like a bottle of oil. Okay. So, I guess this is how the game goes. We'll just be doing these puzzle sections, and then the various characters will just interject with something that seems like a non sequitur, I guess. Okay. Stuff here, a lot of cans. We will knife it. No. Oh, wait. Thank you for telling me. Lotus. Some oil on it. Just a little bit of oil, and come on, you little son of a gun. Whoa. Ha, yes, got you. Let's check it out. Ooh, a freezer. As Junpei walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing whatever he could to conserve body heat.
Oh, it's cold in here. What is this place?
Are you blind? It's a freezer.
Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Lotus, however, was in an even worse situation.
Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me.
Why are you dressed like that, by the way?
I'll freeze solid in seconds. Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest to you.
And with that, she ran out of the room. Fair enough. As Lotus left, June came in,
Oh, whoa. It's really cold in here.
with white puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. June had already started to shiver.
Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside. We got this.
No, I'm fine. My fever's gone now.
But
Junpei had scarcely opened his mouth
Huh?
when the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out from behind. Lotus? In unison, they spun around to find the door they had only recently come through. It was closed. Junpei rushed to the door.
no! Why did it suddenly close?
Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob.
Ah!
It was cold beyond cold. Merely touching it was painful.
The knob's frozen.
But why?
They quickly deduced the pipe next to the door had ruptured.
Looks like the pipe next to it broke, and
Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen instantly. Santa shoved Junpei aside and pounded against the door.
Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door!
She wasted no time in responding.
What do you want? What's going on?
The door won't open! Try opening it from that side, please!
Oh, fine. If you say so. Hold on.
Soon they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. Then the grunting ceased, and they could hear light panting as if from exertion.
It's no use. It won't budge. You've got more people in there. You figure it out. Oh.
God damn it.
Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junpei, with the heaviest clothes on of any of them, was clearly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cold working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies.
anyway, let's find a way out. If we don't get moving, we're gonna be permanent residents.
Two heads are better than none. I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Yeah, you're right. Let's just take a good look around this room, okay?
Right.
They pushed in close to one another and began to search. Okay. Frozen meat. Chunk of pork, you say? Cut the meat. It's frozen here. What is this thing? Oh, interesting. Some rope. Yes. Water bottle. Okay. Dry ice. Should we pick up dry ice from his sleeve so as to avoid burning himself?
Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right?
Yeah, it is.
I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again.
Hell if I know. How is that gonna help us anyway?
Oh, well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here.
They're about to move when June spoke up.
Carbon dioxide sublimation point is negative 109 degrees. Any warmer than that, and it'll turn into gas. Any lower, and it becomes a solid.
Junpei looked at her dumbfounded.
Oh, how do you know that?
Despite my looks, I'm the the queen of random knowledge.
So it would seem. Although Lotus knew some stuff too.
Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off. Oh, you're so cold your mouth's going numb?
Yes, that's fight.
You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you?
June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was still feeling good enough to joke around, Junpei told himself.
Come on, guys. Don't you think that's kind of weird? I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first.
Santa was now shivering at an astounding rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Junpei? What is this decision? How long have I been going? I can go a bit longer. We should probably just get out now, rather than wonder about specifics like that. His patience was wearing
How
thin.
the hell would I know? And how the hell is that going to help us get out of here?
Well, I didn't mean to come across like
Don't
that.
have time for this crap.
But it can turn into a liquid.
Junpei stopped mid-sentence, surprised by June's interjection.
Carbon dioxide turns to liquid if you put it under high enough pressure.
This isn't really a good time for a chat about science.
But I was wondering the same thing.
Wondering what?
Wondering why carbon dioxide doesn't turn into a liquid unless it's under pressure.
Right? It just seems weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide? H2O and CO2 are pretty similar.
Sorry, guys. I haven't been in a science class in a long time, so I don't know.
No, they're not. They're totally different substances. Look, guys, if we keep this up, we're just gonna freeze to death. You good with that? You wanna die talking about sublimation and gases? Because I sure as hell don't.
Yeah, Junpei. Knock some sense into him. He fixed both of them with a glare.
Now let's get back to work. Assuming you don't want to end up like a pair of ice sculptures.
Junpei turned around, the problem dealt with.
Oh, but Jumpy,
Or so he thought.
there's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees.
What?
I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees.
Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees? You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees?
Yeah, well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees.
I'm kind of more with Junpei now. We probably really should be focusing on getting out of here. Water that freezes at 96 degrees, ice that will melt until it's 96 degrees. I'm going to continue this line of thought that Junpei's going down, that let's just focus on getting out.
Well, it doesn't matter. We need to focus on getting out of here first, or we won't be talking much longer.
He did his best to pretend he'd heard nothing and resumed his investigation of the room. Water seems almost warm. Frozen chicken. Okay, haha. Use it to break something. We will use it to break the handle. Okay, I guess we could try that. Bite the dry ice in pieces. What? Okay. I wouldn't know that. Water bottle with dry ice in it. Okay, with the rope. Water bottle bomb, huh? Okay. Warm water drips from the rupture pipe.
Put water into the bottle with dry ice, and make sure the lid's closed. Now I just have to put this makeshift bomb on the doorknob. Alright, that's set. So, what do we do now?
We just need to give it a little, tap. The bottle's already about to pop. If we just throw a rock or something at it, it'll go off all on its own.
A small rock. Huh. A small rock.
Junpei looked down at the floor. Scattered across to a piece of dry ice left over from the larger chunk he crushed earlier.
Alright, this ought to do the trick.
He pulled his sleeve down over his hand to keep from getting burned and grabbed a chunk of dry ice.
Ah, some dry ice, huh? Not a bad idea.
This is a pretty good size. Almost as big as a pool ball.
Alright, guys, stand back. Actually, we should probably hide somewhere.
Both Santa and June looked at him with new concern.
Where exactly do you expect us to hide, genius?
There isn't really anywhere big enough.
Maybe down on this thing?
Yeah, there is. Look, right here. We can hide in there.
Junpei pulled open the door to the small cellar.
Come on, get inside, quick.
We should probably make sure there's a way to open this. And, okay, and hope we don't get trapped again. Santa and June nodded and jumped down the hole. Junpei quickly followed. In his hand, he could feel the chill of the frozen carbon dioxide even through his sleeve. He tightened his grip, took aim, and prepared to throw.
Alright, here I go.
We should probably tell Lotus to step back if she's still out there.
3, 4, 5.
You're counting the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
It's the chill. It's getting into it's messing with his brain, June.
That is a really sad excuse for a joke, man.
Sorry, dude. Alright, for real this time. You guys ready?
Yes, whenever you're ready.
Just throw the damn thing.
Alright, here I go. 3, 2, 1.
Junpei threw the chunk of dry ice as hard as he could. With the same motion, he ducked down into the cellar with Santa and June just as... Junpei leapt out of the cellar and ran to the door.
Jumpy! The ice on the door! Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
The blast must have shattered it.
Yes. Alright, let's see if it opens.
Junpei grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. The door gave way easily and all three of them tumbled out of the freezer at once.
Hooray! We're out!
June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor.
Move!
Santa shoved past Junpei and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed.
Oh, god damn it! Hot, 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 hot. Fuck!
Going straight from ice to fire, huh? Proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amusing fit of rage.
Well, you did just grab the grill. What did you think would happen? Hey, where's Lotus?
Good question. It took Junpei only a moment to find her. She was sitting on the counter, idly scratching her chest.
Welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys.
Thanks, Lotus. Thanks for that great concern you're showing there. With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself onto the counter. Junpei clenched his teeth and walked toward her.
What were you doing?
What do you mean, what was I doing? I was
We were gonna die.
Oh, yeah? But you didn't. So everything worked out all right, didn't it?
That's cold, Lotus. Especially cold, considering the environment we were just in.
What the hell?
Just kidding. It might not look like it, but I was really worried.
I don't believe you.
Oh, don't give me that crap.
I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck here, and I'd die too. See?
Yeah, you say that.
I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door. but I couldn't find anything. So, all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops?
It was true that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Junpei gritted his teeth.
Fine. But there's one thing I have to ask you.
What's that?
You didn't close the door, did you?
What? You think I closed the door on you? Why would I do something like that? It closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I die too.
Yeah, I guess so.
It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure.
If she really wanted to kill us, all she had to do was bar the door from the outside. But she didn't. Well, she didn't do anything. She's only lazy, or negligent at least, not an attempted murderer.
I guess that's fair enough. Junpei swallowed his anger and did his best to apologize.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Hmm? Oh, yes, well that's all right. As long as you understand.
Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingertips. His vengeance against the grill complete, Santa swaggered back toward Junpei and Lotus.
Hey, no more screwing around, you two. Break time's over. Especially for you, lady. You've just been sitting on that fat ass of yours while we were freezing to death.
How rude! I was plenty busy.
Yeah. How about you put all that energy into something besides bitching? Let's go.
Okay. Yes, there we go. Now it's time to stop. Yeah, I feel like I probably missed something with that whole ice conversation, but I was kind of just in the moment, in the mood of, guys, this seems like a serious situation. It seems very strange to have, you know, a strange science conversation when we're in the middle of a crisis, essentially. So, I mean, I know I'm technically not timed, but I tend to, in certain games, if the atmosphere is right and the writing's all right, I tend to get immersed a bit, you know. So, even if I'm not technically timed, I'm still feeling the pressure, you know, because the game's done a good job. It's sort of immersed me into the scene. So I was sort of there with Junpei thinking, guys, this is really weird to have this conversation right now. And, you know, now that we're outside of that situation, then I would say, hey, June, what were you talking about with the ice that only melts at 96 degrees? I probably should have saved. Yeah, I haven't saved in a while. That sucks. I haven't saved in a while when I probably should have. Is there a skip button? Like in some VNs, there's a button where it goes really fast through the text. If someone could let me know, I'd appreciate it. I won't go back and I'm just gonna go with my first choice. In this playthrough, I'm just gonna be playing through, acting on instinct, you know, all that sort of stuff. And then once I beat the game, because it looks like there are multiple endings, then I'll obviously start going back and doing other things, making other choices. But if there is like a skip button, I would like to know what that is. Also, let's look at... Oh, wait. It's not the... It's not the map yet. Crap. I should have looked at the map when I could have. Oh well. I guess I'll find that next time. So, yeah. We finished that one puzzle section. Had that weird talk about morphogenic field stuff. Started a new puzzle section. Had a conversation with June about predictions of the Titanic, which I feel it's dubious just listening to that. And then we had our situation with the freezer. And all in all, how I'm feeling right now is I'm a bit worried about June. She seems really interested in the occult and that sort of stuff, and it's a bit of seems a bit of an extreme fixation. Well, that might be too harsh a thing to say at the moment. But she's really into it, and I'm a bit worried what that might mean for the future. It's not like I specifically think something's going to happen. It's just it may cause her to have some strange judgment or something. I'm not entirely sure. And then Lotus, I don't know how to think about her. I think Junpei kind of nailed it with the realization that she could have just barred the door, and then regardless of whether or not we blew up the ice, we would have been trapped and died. So I don't think she means to... I don't think she was trying to... I don't think she was responsible. But she does seem... I said cold earlier, but almost like callous at times. And I think she's from some kind of upper class. Because she talked about furniture once, like how she wanted to get some nice furniture. And she, obviously somewhat well educated, because she was referring to, what was it, Sheldrake and the morphogenic field, and but her, yeah, I'm right along with Junpei when she's like, I'm kidding, just kidding, and yet she has this like smug look on her face, and it's kind of frustrating. Totally there with Junpei with him on that. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on her. Yeah, funnily enough, Santa seems like the most honest. Well, that's not to say June isn't honest. She's just... That's not the right word, honest. Reliable? No, I don't know. I need to spend more time with these characters. I still haven't nailed them down yet. So we will probably finish this puzzle next time and continue on with the story, and I hope to see you all there. Have a good one.